Hey everyone, Jill from Two Dogs Media. I just want to take a few minutes of your time, go through some of this really cool stuff about Gutenberg that we're seeing. I have not been an advocate of Gutenberg since they talked about this way back. I am starting to come around to it. There are still some bugs and things I'm seeing with different things that we're testing, but overall it is definitely much more stable than my previous post had talked about. So I'm actually excited about the future of this and think for bloggers it's going to be a fantastic tool. If you have not updated to WordPress 5.0, I do recommend doing it when the time is right for you. I do recommend that you do try and start getting acclimated with Gutenberg because there are some tools that can really help you increase your ad revenue, increase your engagement, which in turn will help your SEO. So we're going to talk about those things real quick. I know I'm talking a little fast, but I got a lot I want to cover in such a short amount of time. So if you do update to 5.0, I'm sure you've already heard everybody recommends to install Classic Editor. I'm just going to show you real quick what happens when you do. If you have Classic Editor installed and activated, you go to Settings, and then what will show is default editor for all users. You could probably set it to Classic Editor if you're afraid of breaking old posts, which we are, so we left it alone. As a side note, we've updated all of our sites and about 30% of our clients' sites, and so far so good. There's been no breaks at all with anything. I've had no compatibility issues, so far it is good. Allow users to switch the editors. You want to check yes. This will allow you to choose between whether you want to use the Classic Editor or Gutenberg. So if we go to our All Posts section, okay, you can see this one we're using the block editor, this one we're using the block editor, and everything else we're using the Classic Editor. So right now we only have two that we're using. But if we click on this, which is currently using the Classic Editor, there is now a box in the side, and we can switch to the block editor if we wanted to. We're not going to here, but we can if we want to. And then if we go to our dummy post, which we created just for this video, it's the same thing. We have an option to switch to the Classic Editor if we didn't want to use Gutenberg. So if you're just writing a simple post with not a lot going on, the Classic Editor is still fine, but we do believe you should get used to using Gutenberg because the Classic Editor, although they mention they will maintain it until 2022, which seems like a really long time away, we don't know what's going to happen after that. So you want to make sure you kind of do go through and make sure all your posts are good in Gutenberg. You have 4 years to do it, so you should be good. Okay, so real quick, add blocks. You can add those from up here. This is kind of critical because you want to make sure your post has enough words. This will take care of your counts for you so you can see how many words, headings, paragraphs, blocks you're using, that type of thing. Save, draft, preview, publish. This is all. I did a video about this previously. I'm not going to get too much into this. This just shows and hides. The one cool thing in here, which we use because we like a clean editing area, you can hide and show different areas. So like if we didn't want to see the category tab, we can take it away. Notice it goes away. If we want to see categories and tags, we can show them. If we want featured image, we can show it. So a little customization there to help clean up your area. The one other cool thing, and we do recommend this because it can get a little crazy looking at all the different blocks. That's a learning curve and getting your eyes used to it. We use something called Spotlight Mode. Keep an eye over here, especially the image. If we take Spotlight Mode off, everything shows in full color, full opacity. When you have Spotlight Mode activated, it kind of makes everything a little opaque. But if I click on this block, it'll show me the block that I'm working on. So just a little bit easier, especially for us old people with old eyes. This can help a little bit. So real quick, this is your title. It's never going to change. This is just a paragraph block, nothing fancy here. This is actually a full width block. We kind of like this. It's from it's a plugin that we added called Editor Blocks. We're just playing around with some of the plugins so that we can kind of help you see what you might need. Editor Blocks, I think, would be better used for more corporate websites. They do a lot of full width. They have testimonials. They have brand logos you can put in, pricing tables. So there's some really cool stuff. I think it's better, like I said, for regular websites, not necessarily bloggers. And Atomic Blocks is the other one that we like. There's also Stag Blocks as well, which is very similar to Atomic. I had a couple bugs with the Stag one. Atomic I haven't had any problems with. So, you know, these are just, it's a sharing, post grids. We'll go through a couple of these in a little bit. So this was just a full width thing that I tried, nothing fancy. This is a standard block that comes with Gutenberg without any plugins. It's a standard Gutenberg, and you can search for blocks. So if I wanted to add post, I can just do post, and then I can see what options I have. So I have latest posts, embeds. I'm not probably ever going to use that. Atomic Blocks has a post grid, and then I'll show you that in a second. So this, I'm actually going to delete this. Let's delete this real quick. Say I want to put in, I'm doing a dog post, or I'm doing a cat post. You can add blocks from here as well, by the way. Add block. I'm going to search for a post block. I'm going to do latest posts. You can see it'll show me my absolute latest posts by default, but I can customize and I can show newest to oldest, A to Z. I can put them in alphabetical order, whatever you want to do. You can choose a specific category. So let's say I'm doing a cat post. I might want to do cat lover posts. I'm going to limit mine to 3. I only want to show 3 posts. I can display the post date. I can turn it off. I can make it a grid or a cross. Okay, so this is really kind of neat. So now I have this little post thing. Okay, and if I wanted to add another block above it, I can do like this post. Check out these related posts. And we can do this, and I can bold it. Okay, so now I have this little extra area. Okay, and what's really cool is I had done this earlier. Now say if I'm at the bottom of the post, okay, I'm going to add a new block here. What I did is I created a reusable post. So now what happens is I can use that reusable block on multiple posts. So any cat related post I do, I have this reusable block that I can use to put into every single cat post. So every cat post will show my latest cat posts without using any other plugins. This is just a default thing with Gutenberg. So absolutely love this. Great way to engage. Another option, if I want to do posts, you can actually use, oh, I am stuck in reusable, bear with me. Another one is the atomic block. So you can do a post grid. Okay, so this is an atomic block, and you can, this is another great option if you want to look in a different way. Say you wanted to put 2, you can do a grid, you can do kind of a list, you can do a square, different, I mean, there's just all these different options. You don't have to show the image. You can get rid of the excerpt, just show this. So lots of different ways that you can really engage your users now in different ways. So those are just some of the things that you can do. This is just a profile box, so you can put a user's profile within. It's got every different social media link that you can add, different colors, textures, backgrounds. This is actually tabs, and this comes with, I think, atomic blocks. This is your tab title, tab content, tab title, tab content. Okay, so this is actually a really cool thing as well. This was kind of a cool thing where you can do a block, a background image with some text over it. So we played around with a bunch of different things. So let's look at it live and kind of go through what we just did. And of course, it's not going to look pretty at all. This is just for playing. So this was just our paragraph box. This was our full width banner with the background color. This was the little like this post, check out our related posts. Okay, this is just an image block that's standard. This comes with atomic blocks. This is the tabs that I showed. Tab 1, tab 2. Oh, somehow this wound up in the tab. I probably dragged and dropped it. These were some just related posts. Grid posts. This was the background image with the Facebook thing in it. So there's all these great things that you can really do. One of the other things that we're starting to really get into is we are affiliate marketers. We do a lot of review posts on different websites, not just this one. We code ours by hand. We do not believe in plugins for doing stuff. So we code our review posts by hand. It is frustrating to say the least. So we're thrilled that we can actually have something. So kind of let me show you right now, like this is a post in a classic editor. It's got review products. If we go to the front end, so you can see on the front end, like we have this, which is a box. It's got the content. It's got the Amazon stuff. So this is just one example. This is all done with HTML. So if you look at the post and look at the text where the HTML is, this is all done with HTML. We're not using any drag and drops for this. So it is a little time consuming to do this. But what's really cool now, and this might be our favorite game-changing thing, is we can create, and yes, you do need to know a little bit of code, but either you can find somebody or hopefully I'll be able to put out a tutorial in just a couple weeks. I want to make sure, you know, everything we're doing is right before we release it. But this is one of the things we absolutely love. So we created what we call our product list item box. And this, oops, you know, I was having this problem, and this is one of the glitchy things. So if I wanted to edit this box, and this is a bug, if I want to edit this box, watch what happens. It's not letting me. It's refreshing the page, and it's not letting me get to the block to edit it. So this is one of those things that's a little buggy. So that's why I don't want to release anything until I know for sure. But what I'm doing for now, I'm just using the arrow down. So if I put my cursor here and arrow down, then it lets me get to that block. You're going to see glitches like this throughout. There's probably ways around it, so you just have to play a little bit. So this was a custom block that we did we use custom fields. So what we did is we added a custom field for a product image, a product title, text, link, and a link text. So now the product image, we can pull right from Amazon code. That can go in here. The product title, dog pacer, we can add a little bit of text. We can link it to Amazon or a full product review, see best price. We have another one here. Let me show you what would happen. So say I want to add another one. I'm in this block. All right, so let's go here. Okay, we're going to add a new product list item. This is the block that we built, so I'm going to add a new product list item. And then it's going to just show me everything. Test. And let me just get copy image address. I just want to put an image in so it looks balanced. Okay, and save draft. Ooh. Okay, and then now watch what happens if I hit preview. I've got this really cool 3-column, 3-row, and it lays out beautifully. I can use as many of these blocks as I want. It'll be consistent through all my pages. This has me over the moon. So I hope this helped. Like I said, this was just meant to be a quick preview of some of the cool things you can do in your blog posts. We're going to delve more into this as we get through it, but I hope this was a good start. Any questions, you guys know where to reach me. Thanks very much. Have a great day.